What's going on YouTube? The Apophis here and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm bringing you guys another story. That's right, story time with the Apophis is about to go down again. I sent a thing out on Twitter yesterday. This is another good reason why you should follow me on Twitter. I sent a thing out on Twitter yesterday giving you guys, the fans and viewers, the option to pick what the topic for today's video would be. Now, I didn't ask for a topic. I gave that as an option as well, but I gave you a couple to choose from. And it seemed like the popular choice was the time I got my hand caught in an animal trap. Now, that sounds like a really painful and funny experience, and you're probably thinking, what an idiot. But before we get into the story, I'm going to show you a picture similar to what the animal trap that I got stuck in looked like, and that is on the screen right now. This was a small animal trap, not some big bear trap, but it had the teeth on it that you saw in the picture, and it snapped shut just like that. If you don't know how that trap works, it opens up like a set of jaws, and when you trigger the middle thing, they snap shut and the teeth come together, holding the small animal in place. Now, I grew up in a really rural area, and small animals were a big deal. We had like a lot of little foxes and stuff like that running around, and it was very important for us to not have them running around because we raised rabbits at one point in time. So I was maybe 5 or 6, really young, and my dad goes out and he sets this trap. And in order to teach me to stay away from the trap, my dad grabs a stick, and he comes over, he takes me and the stick over to the trap and says, "Look, this is what's gonna happen if you fuck around and stick your hand in this trap." And he shoved the stick in there, and the trap closed, and the stick shattered. Mind-blowing, right? Not really, not to me. I was a hard-headed ass kid. So I'm thinking to myself the whole time he's showing this whole mechanism to me, I'm going, now I know how to trigger this trap. And as a kid, my dad and I, man, we butted heads left and right. We didn't really get along, so I made it a point to find all the things I could do to get on his nerves. This trap, for me, was just another way to get on the old man's nerves. So what I was doing is I was running around, and I had this orange plastic golf ball that somebody had gotten me in some whack-ass Christmas present or something with like fake golf clubs and plastic golf balls and such. Anyway, my orange plastic golf ball. I take this thing around every day, and I would throw it in the trap, and I would hit the little mechanism, and the trap would snap shut. Well, now the trap is sprung, and there's no animal in it. Me, being the 5 or 6 year old kid that I was, thought that this was the most clever way to get at my dad, because there's no way he could ever figure out what the hell is triggering this trap. He would never think it was me, which is totally not the case. The only answer it could have been was that it was me, considering there was no animal in it. So I got away with it. God, man, I got away with this for the longest time. I was going on 3 weeks, maybe a month, just every day going out there triggering his trap, pissing him off, triggering his trap. And in the meantime, foxes were, chewing up the feet of the rabbits we raised and stuff like that. And I didn't think about that aspect of it at the time, right? I'm like a 5 or 6 year old kid, and my main mission is to piss my old man off. So god damn it, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to piss him off by triggering this trap with this fucking golf ball. Well, one day, I go up there, and I throw my golf ball in, and you probably guessed where this is going, but the damn thing missed. I missed the little mechanism that triggers the trap. And I'm like, motherfucker, like, I am stuck in a really sticky situation now because I can't leave my golf ball in the trap. My dad's gonna know, and then I'm gonna get my ass whooped, and I'm gonna get in trouble. And my parents never shied away from spanking me. That being said, I just want to clarify that I was never spanked unnecessarily. I definitely earned it every time I got it. And yeah, I say earn, not deserve, because I was not the easiest kid to raise. But anyway, so now there's this golf ball in the trap, and I'm like, oh man, I don't want to get my ass whooped. So I think to myself, I got little hands. I can get this golf ball out without hitting that mechanism. Like, I know how this trap works. Like, I can get in there, get my ball out, and get back to safety, and nobody's gonna know that I fucked around with the animal trap. Yeah, right. Totally not what happened. I stick my hand in there, next thing I know, smack! Fucking trap comes shut, and it's on my thumb in particular. Got my thumb more than anything, because I was really sketchy reaching my hand in there. So this thing snaps down on my thumb, and I am just screaming at this point. Not that the trap closed with enough force to break any bone or anything. Like, I was pretty much undamaged, But what are you going to do when you're that young and you're stuck to the ground because you're an idiot and you stuck your hand in an animal trap? If you don't know, these traps, they stake into the ground, right? Or else that would defeat the purpose, right? They would just close on the animal and that would be the end of it. They stake to the ground. So I can't get this thing apart because my hand is caught in it. And I can't really go anywhere because I'm stuck to the fucking ground because the trap is staked. So here I am screaming my head off for my mom, who is in the house, to come and get me out of this trap. Not only am I screaming to get out of the trap, but I'm also crying a little bit because it fucking hurts. Even though it didn't close enough to break my thumb or anything, it closed enough to bust me open pretty good. And when you're 6 years old, getting a nice gash like that is pretty painful, plus the embarrassment on top of it and all the other good stuff to go along with it, you know, kind of compiled. Little did I know, my mom was watching me the whole time through the kitchen window. So she's actually in the house laughing at me because I'm an idiot, stuck my hand in this trap, and I deserved what I got, right? So my mom's laughing at me. I'm not thinking it's that funny of a time. And here she comes strolling out to get me out of the trap. After she releases me from this metal mechanism of pinned to the ground bullshit, she starts laughing again. Oh, you're an idiot. And I'm sitting there begging, Mom, please don't tell Dad. Please don't tell Dad. My dad was the disciplinarian in the house. I'm like, please don't tell Dad. Please don't tell Dad. My mom spanks me. Instead of covering for me, she spanks me. So I get my ass whooped for triggering the trap by my mom, which was all too embarrassing because she's supposed to be on my team. Only to find out she called my dad shortly thereafter and told him what I was doing. So when he got home from work like 4 or 5 hours later, I got a second ass whooping. As if getting my hand caught in this fucking trap wasn't good enough. Being cut up pretty good wasn't good enough. No, sir. Time to spank him to prove a point. After that, ironically, my dad stopped putting the trap out, which didn't make any sense to me. Now you know I'm not going to go around triggering your trap. Why are you going to not put it out anymore? So I think it was all a ploy to see how stupid I was as a kid. And the answer to that was I was really fucking stupid because I should have just grabbed a stick. In hindsight, I should have just grabbed a stick and tapped and triggered the trap with the stick, reached in, grabbed my ball, and cleaned up the evidence, which would have been a way more logical decision at the time. But, you know, when you're 6, you don't really think it through, especially when you're just trying to not get in trouble. And as I said, my main concern was just not getting my ass whooped, which definitely backfired because I ended up getting my ass whooped double, and I got my hand caught in a trap. So that's my story about getting stuck in the animal trap. And feel free to laugh. Feel free to leave stuff in the comments below about how much of an idiot I am. I totally agree, 100%. That was some dumb shit that I was doing. And, it was fun, though, while it lasted. It's one of those things I look back on, and I'm like, yeah, I got my dad a few times. Even though I really didn't get anybody in the long run, because they all fucking knew about it. Like, they had already deciphered that it was me running around triggering the trap, and they were pretty much waiting, they being my parents, they were pretty much waiting on me to get caught in the damn thing. Because they knew that the trap wasn't strong enough to do any real damage to me, but it was strong enough to teach me a lesson. And it definitely taught me a lesson. And that lesson is don't run around trying to piss your parents off, because eventually you're going to get your hand caught in a trap. I really think the whole damn thing was a trap. Not just the trap itself, but setting it out. Because we never caught an animal in it, and they definitely caught me in it. So I think it was all a trap to see what lengths I was willing to go to get at my dad. Which is kind of funny when I look back at it, and I kind of hope my kid does some stupid shit. I don't have a kid right now, but when I do have a kid, I kind of hope he does some dumb shit like that, just so I can get a good chuckle out of it like my parents did. Especially if it's not going to harm him for the long run, you know. So that's another story from the Apophis about my ridiculous childhood growing up in the sticks, hanging out with deer and raising rabbits and getting my hand caught in a trap. I'm just going to point out, though, that you fuckers on Twitter, y'all are mean. You wanted to hear about my woes instead of some funny story. You wanted to hear about me getting stuck to the ground. But that's all good. It made for a fun time for me sharing the story. I definitely had a good time making this commentary and reminiscing on, you know, some of my childhood excursions, I guess you could call them. So I'm glad I got to do it. And thanks for choosing the topic. You know, it kind of made it fun for me. Anyway, if you like that stuff, there's more of that in a playlist. You just gotta sift through my Black Ops 2 playlist. You'll find some other like deployment stories and some other stories. A really hilarious story is my real life trolling story. If you haven't heard my real life trolling story, you should definitely go listen to that one. That one's gonna give you a big laugh, and it might even change your perspective of me a little bit. But that's okay. It's all in fun in the long run. So the gameplays are coming to an end, guys. I just want to say a huge thank you for coming out and supporting me, and I've been getting a lot of support lately from everybody, and it really makes me feel good, so thank you so much. Alright guys, there's 2 videos on the screen that you might have missed. Feel free to click them. They're going to open in another window. There's a subscribe button up there. Click that as well. It works again, so that's a plus. Go ahead and click it. If you're not already subscribed and you like this, just click it, and you're going to get more stuff like this from me. Let's see what else. Follow me on Twitter, guys. A lot of you guys tweet at me and ask me when I'm going to be playing Xbox and stuff like that. Twitter's the way to know. I will tweet out when I play, and I just haven't been on lately, so don't think that I stopped tweeting it. I just haven't been on. Also, if you guys want to get together to do some dual comms and stuff like that, if you're a commentator and you want a dual comm, hey, tweet me, let me know, and we can set it up and get it done. I don't really have any requirements other than that you're fun to hang out with on a Skype call. So, thanks for stopping by. I hope you all have a fantastic day. It means the world to me that you chose to come over to my channel and stop by and hang out for these last few minutes. And I'm going to stop dragging this one on now. So, thank you all so much. And I really, really appreciate it. Stomp on a penguin.